Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the research I completed on myself and my family and all that good stuff. So this is my autobiography, and I was born in Florida in 1995 and we moved to Ohio in 1998 because of my mom's job. All the way up through high school, from first grade to high school, I played soccer, but I had to stop playing because I broke my leg and needed surgery. And that kind of led me into my major in college and what I wanted to do for that. Throughout middle school and elementary school, I actually played the piano for 9 years. I played the cello for 1 year, and I sang in a couple choirs around where I was from. So then into high school, I played soccer. I was a captain 1 year, but due to my fracture, I was unable to continue playing, and I didn't end up playing my senior year. I worked throughout high school. I babysat and I nannied a bunch of families around from where I was from, and in the last semester of high school I was actually in my school's choir, which is kind of my first exposure to real practicing like arts and stuff like that. So to undergrad school, I decided to come to Mount Union because it was small and it had the major I wanted, which was athletic training. And due to my injury I sustained, I kind of felt that my athletic trainer was there for me, and I wanted to help out my own athletes in my own career. So that's kind of what made me pick my major. I currently have a scholarship to sing in the choir, which I've been involved in for all eight semesters. And as of November, I decided to change my diet. I'm now a vegetarian. I don't agree with the way that animals are processed and manufactured, so I'm just trying to do what I can and what I feel is right. So next year I plan to go to grad school in Chicago and work as an athletic trainer, and hopefully obtain my certification in yoga so I can become a certified yoga instructor. So that is myself and my sister and my mom and my dad. That's just all of us. I was told the only difference between myself and my sister, the only thing that tells us apart, is our eyes. And my sister has my mom's eyes, and I have my dad's eyes. So besides that, I've been told we look like twins. Moving on, this is Marilyn Stanek. This is my mom's mother, here in the picture. And she is one of 3 women in her family, and then her husband is Michael Stanek in the picture. And she has 3 kids. One is my mom, and then my uncle and my aunt. So ever since she was young, she wanted to be a cosmetologist, but her parents wanted more for her. But she was a seamstress. She made all of my mother's clothes and pretty much all of her own clothes. And then her most influential non-family member was her accordion teacher. So she also has exposure to music, and I think that's kind of where I got it from. She played the accordion for 20 years and to this day is still involved in a bunch of musical exposure situations. So that's my grandma and my grandfather. He actually died in 2008 because of cancer. So just my grandma in Florida, so we go and visit her a lot. Okay, so the brief history I decided to research on was World War II, which occurred from 1939 to 1945. And the one specific website I looked up, HistoryNet, from 2017, said that there were 80 million deaths, but you know, that comes and goes with who you talk to and how much is actually found versus how much is just unknown. It said it was one of the deadliest wars we've experienced. It was the end of the German reign, and that was the Allies and the Axis were against each other. And the connection to my family is that my grandmother's father, the one I just talked about, Steve Andler, went and served for 4 years, and then he came back and they had another child, so that's how my grandma's one of 3. So moving on, Marilee Mackey is my grandmother on my other side, so that's my dad's mom. And she is one of 4, I believe, and she had 7 children with her first husband, or 3 children with her first husband and 4 with her second husband. She actually told me something really interesting when I interviewed her, and that was her father used to take my dad, so his grandfather, to the Chicago Cubs games at Wrigley, and he actually sold hot dogs at Wrigley for 2 years in the summer in the 50s. So that's kind of my connection to the city of Chicago. The most influential non-family member for my grandmother would have been her church leader. She was in very abusive relationships, and she found that this church leader helped her through a lot of issues and helped her get through a lot of things that she really needed support with. And her dream job is that she wanted to be a nurse. And that's my grandmother. I think she might be 5 feet tall on a good day, so that's where we get our shortness from, I guess. And then my last biography was of my father, and he's one of 7, and he married my mom in 1988, Donna Sakita, or now Sakita, was Stanek. And the biggest thing he talked about when I interviewed him was that he felt, because of his family situation, his parents getting divorced at an early age, and then his dad realizing that he was gay and he moved to Las Vegas with his partner, it kind of caused my dad to grow up a little quicker, I think, than he wanted. And so he had to support his family in any way he knew how, including financially. So that's kind of where he got his money chasing ideas from. And ever since then, a lot of things have changed. He recently decided he wanted to go back to school, and he decided to get college education. So now he's currently studying to become a radiologist technician. But ever since then, he worked in the airport for a couple years, and he's been a mailman for about 23 years now. And the most influential non-family member for my dad was his best friend from high school. They're the Gingrich family, and they took my dad in right out of high school, and they clothed him and they fed him, and they pretty much, he would never tell me, but they pretty much saved his life. So we still talk to them now. And my dad's dream job was that he wanted to be a professional baseball player, which I think is interesting. He's super athletic, but we're not the tallest people. So he could never be good at basketball or football, which is what he wanted. So he wanted to try and go pro with baseball. But that's a picture of myself and my dad at Game 5 at Wrigley this past year in the World Series. So that's my family. Thank you.
Thank you.